Hang on. Music. That basically works, yeah. Yeah, this is professional. Good. It's three-dimensional sound. Check out my visualizer. Y'all got any Winamp skins? Oh no. Yeah, go for it. Also say hi to everybody.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't know if they can hear you. You're all the way over there.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, you're so quiet when you... Hang on, what's the mic? No, it's this. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I don't know how to close the door with that thing installed in the ceiling.
I know. Just do the best you can.
Yeah. I think it's working. Okay, someone knew what I said.
Nice.
I'm going to turn this on now, so you probably don't want to appear, right?
No. I just want to know if the washing machine will bother you.
Oh, I don't know.
If it does, I'll just...
They can deal. They got... It's by a laptop. Hang on. This one. Here we go. Transition. Are you here? Oh, wait. Where's the monitor? Okay, this will tell me what the delay is like. That's really fast. That's really fast. Sick. Hi. I'm internet personality Vangelus. I'm here today with an exclusive first look review in the year 2009 of Transformers Bumblebee Shockwave from Studio Series. They made 110 of these. You don't know that yet because it's 2009. So you think there's only 2 movies. But hang on, this angle's not very familiar. If we you don't know this yet, but they're gonna make a lot of movies, and then there's gonna be at least 110 toys based on live action Transformers movies. So get ready to live out a franchise. This is I don't want to hold this the whole time, so we're gonna go to this was actually the angle, but now this little monitor's rotated. And you're all so tiny. How do I make you bigger? If I move this over here, why you all gotta be so small? No, if I put this here, if I crush this down, yes, kind of. Yes. Hello, Flame War 05. Hi, PT. Hi, Transalamander. Hi, Sideswipe Prime. Hi, Volkysis. Hi there, Face Forward. I'm in your city. I hope that I'm audible. Hi there, General Techno. I hope that I'm audible. I think that the microphone is that one on the MacBook. Which has 94% battery remaining. I got a couple... I'm so audible. Hell yeah. Actually, I'm hitting red, aren't I? Let me turn this down like 2 decibels. Oh, nope, 3 decibels. Oh, hell, that's just gonna be loud the whole time, isn't it? It's gonna be loud the whole time, isn't it? Um, Sound is good. Yeah, yeah. Hey there, Ash. Hey there, Ash R. How you doing? Um, yeah, we got some chugway going on. So I'm in the West Coast, and this is the original desk I filmed on until I moved to Toronto. You can tell by the texture of the desk. This desk is still here. Everything's a lot different now. And the computer that's at this desk is like a very old computer that exists out of spite. But like there is the old filming setup, except that it was tilted this way, and there was a monitor here, and then there was a monitor up here where this MacBook is. So this is a different monitor, I think, than was present before. Uh, anyway, this because there used to be 2 computers down here. There was one here connected to a monitor here that was exclusively just I would turn it on to run overnight the Cape Radio audio streams, and then over here where there's now nothing was where my main computer was. Oh, no, wait, no, my main computer was up here on ignore that mess, but it was up here on this whole thing. This is just stuff that is like sitting here. Who knows? Um, yeah, the desk, PT, the capital D desk, the big D. Uh, why phones have their cameras in such an odd, like, offset angle? I never know where to point this thing. The resolution on this is too high. Yeah, and yeah, Canadian Coke Zero. Oh, Techno, I didn't know you listened to the Cape Radio stuff. Uh, Ash R, good lord, watching old things. Yikes. Not so Alex, hello. Also Bees, hello. Hi. I apologize for, I assume, a lower audio. I don't know what the audio quality is like. This is a newer MacBook, so the audio quality shouldn't be, like, awful, but it's not like a condenser mic sitting right by my face. So I don't know how it sounds. I just kind of flying with the seat of my pants. I've gotten toys while I was out here, and I just opened them up, and then I went to the Magic GameStop and got 2 figures today. And then I thought, oh, audio is crisp. So I got my 2 figures today, and I thought, like, I should at least try to stream. So there is a Cat 5 cable here that has been here for years, and I'm running that into an Anchor Super Hub that includes an Ethernet port, because they don't have Ethernet ports on MacBooks anymore. And it is blinking a lot, so I'm assuming that it is helping prevent what happened the last time I tried to stream out here, which is the sort of unwatchable stream with the Canadian Dry ginger ale zero can that apparently was like chopping out every 5 seconds or something. Yeah, I'm in the room with you. And this camera is my phone because I have a newer MacBook now. This newer MacBooks just see an iPhone and say, hey, there's another camera. So I don't have to do all the whatever rigmarole to make it work the way I want to back home. When it's with the MacBook, it's just like, no, here, you have a mobile camera. Which I need to remember if I ever want to do cooking streams. Scorp, hello. Jostle the cable really hard for higher quality. It's only a Cat 5. We haven't got this up to Cat 6 yet. Yeah, Cryptid Schweppus. Hi, I'm DJ Vangelus from Saints Row. Hope that you're all killing my friend DJ Enigma for me. But yeah, there's a bunch of other, like, I don't want to like dox this bookshelf, because this bookshelf is still primarily my brother's books. But like over here, there's just things sort of accumulate and shift around in here. So there's like a lightsaber up there. There's MPO1 Optimus Prime and Air Attack Optimus Primal and Cybertron Sound Blaster and some knockoff Sentai thing, and then I don't know what those books are. You can't. This is the Friendly Guide to the Universe, Crow Lake. I don't know what any of those are. My brother is more well read than I am. Do you plan on bringing any of the stuff here back with you when you return to the east? No, I'm mostly just trying to, like, film older things out here. And then they just chill out here, and it gives me a thing to do every time I come to visit my mom out here, is I can also film some things. I have a nicer filming setup over in the room I actually sleep in, but that room doesn't have a Cat 5 cable, and the Wi-Fi doesn't work happily out there. We're trying to figure out how to make the Wi-Fi happier throughout this house. We just learned what a mesh system is, and apparently that will, like, help. But I'm still trying to figure out what older toy I wanna review out here, or older toys. I was gonna go, like, real gear, and I'm like, is 2007 old yet, or is it just like we pretend it isn't old? You know. We have what do you call them? Wi-Fi extenders. They don't work back in the room I'm staying in. They don't work back in the room I'm staying in. 2007 is old, but it's not 20 years old, and I have toys here that are over 20 years old, and I feel like I should be doing those first. But yeah, we have, like, a double Wi-Fi extender thing, and it's just, it doesn't work. And then we talked to a guy at London Drugs who just had to do this to the house he stays in. He was like, mesh systems are where it's at. And we're like, all right. So we're maybe going to figure out how that works. I don't know how a lot of that stuff works. I'm not a very big computer hardware, network hardware person. I missed all that, and I was a band kid at school, and it didn't do it. Yeah, and I figured bees might know, extenders have signal degradation. Worst part about extenders, and this is what was happening with my phone when I was trying to stream off of it last year, in here, is the extender creates a 2G and a 5G network along with the original network. And so it means that if you log into all three of them, as you kind of would expect you would, and you'd think, like, all right, it'll just latch on to the nearest one. It just starts hopping between all the networks, and all the networks vary as to which ones have full strength, and it's a nightmare as far as the actual act of streaming goes. For anything else, it's generally fine, but for streaming, it's puke noises. Anyway, while I'm talking, I'm also going to rip this toy open. I've already filmed the outside packaging, so I just got to do the backdrop shots, which means we can have some fun ripping this thing open proper style. We still don't, in the year 2009, they don't know yet that we're going to get rid of box windows, so we can go classic, go true fan style on this thing. And yeah, the device's switching while trying to stream, I think, was making that stream just not work. So, what's up, Slayer's Hoop? Adachi Baby, that's right, classic shredding. We're doing the modern shred in the classic room. You know, we're getting all over the place, but you can see me over here wrestling with this thing, because this is actually kind of stuck. There we go. There's the backdrop. I'm gonna film it and then recycle it later. Opening two things today. Our cardboard backdrop's cool. They are, but these ones are not really. They're kind of kitschy and neat, but once you have more than three, they're really annoying. And I think in general, Studio Series was, like, really trying to go for, like, a bookshelf chic motif, but then having, like, 14 different box sizes, and the backdrops being, like, oddly bloated when you're not used. Like, this is they fold up kind of like this, maybe kind of like this. It's not bloated, but for a cardboard backdrop, it is somehow kind of bloated. I mostly just like them for the one shot for the opening B-roll, and then, you know, that's kind of it. I'll put it up here to protect us from books. We don't need no book learning to foul up the vibes here. No tissue paper. I gotta figure out my spots here too. Like, this is too close to me, so I gotta come out here. But I gotta kind of tilt it this way. V Santo Hartono, oddly bloated, title of my sex tape. True. But yeah, I recycle the backdrops in general. And yeah, the base also. Yeah, the backdrop bases are all kind of small. There are more than one figures I've had trouble stuffing into the backdrop for the backdrop B-roll shot that I do on all of them. I barely reviewed a lot of Studio Series, but all these years, I have been generally filming a lot of, like, packaging shots for Studio Series. Well, I brought I brought some scissors from the kitchen for this one. And we still got these tied down accessories. You know, free the shock nipple. It's big. This phone is an interesting camera because it looks really nice, but I have like, I'm kind of relying on it to just know what to do because it doesn't give me the touch focus controls when it's in this mode. So I am straight up relying on autofocus, and I don't like it. I don't like relying on autofocus. I figure my understanding. I think people have asked about the budget of the backdrops, and because they are technically just a fancy piece of packaging, my understanding is they don't actually impact the cost all that much, because they are something that would otherwise just be like a branded piece of cardboard. Whereas, like, Hot Wheel Optimus Prime has volume bloat, Studio Series boxes have remained fairly... Well, I'm going to say, though, I'll say they've remained fairly compact, even though they are also all kind of big when you go Voyager or Leader for the sake of, you know, the vaunted shelf space. What app do I use? Oh, you mean for this camera thing? This is just an iPhone seeing a modern MacBook, and the MacBook saying, do you want that iPhone to be a camera device? And it just does it. Which is kind of wild to me. Yeah, well, plastic-free packaging, except this has plastic ties, except when they don't, right? When they instead have the paper ties, except when they don't, when they have the green paper ties or the red paper ties. Ow! I'm kneecapping myself on this old tower constantly. Ew, Apple, come on, we don't, it's 2024, do we gotta be like 2001 about this stuff? I don't believe in hardware tribalisms anymore. I just use Mac because I'm used to Final Cut. But also, once upon a time I would have said there's more nice things to say about Windows. Now Windows is all like, do you want to knock off Scarlett Johansson stuffed in your computer, please? And it's like, please don't update my desktop computer ever. Thank you. Kindly. Please don't ever update. Yeah, it's the upside. Mac. I didn't think Mac would do, for everything I just said, I didn't think Mac was going to do nice Mac integration stuff, because Mac's attitude towards the consumer lately has been like, you think you're a professional, you little scumbag? So I didn't think it was going to do anything nice, and then it did. That's the bummer. That's the bummer about Apple, is Apple has like made this weirdly concerted effort to like make people not be creative professionals, where they're like, we should de-feature a whole lot of stuff, and it bums me out. Basically, I run a Mac and a Windows thing, cause whatever. Because Linux is probably the best, but I had a really, how do you put this? When I was in post-secondary, I had a computer science prof who was like, if anyone out there is like a Linux user, right? You know, the Linux users who make it hard for you to convince other people to use Linux, if you know what that means. I had one of those as a prof in post-secondary, and it was amazing how much he created a knee-jerk reaction in my psyche of, I don't want to touch Linux because I don't want him to be right. You know what I mean? We all have had one of those in our lives at some point, where you're like, I know this is better, but also to hell with this one guy. He's so annoying. I figured out how the arm works. It's like Mac has had those too. Like, when in the early 2000s or whatever. I always say the early 2000s. It was different than that, but I always think in the early 2000s. When you had those Mac people who were like, they'd put out like a piece of digital art or something. You'd be like, oh, it's really nice. What'd you make that on? They're like, well, since it's a piece of art, I clearly used a Mac computer, obviously. Windows Movie Maker? Really? Like the whole general vibe was that's why my reaction tends to just be like, what year are we in? To be fair, that Linux friend of mine is mad rich right now as a software engineer. You know what? He may be rich, doesn't mean he was right. Yeah, that's having had always like ever since basically the late 2000s, I've always been like a Mac laptop and a Windows tower. So I managed to just like skirt the line between all that stuff. And also like going to film school when I did, I had it confirmed to me basically, it doesn't matter what editing software you use as long as you create good things with it. Uh it really doesn't matter. And I hit that I remember I hit that on Twitter even like in the 2010s at one point. I was saying something about NLEs, and then some friggin' tryhard who was name searching the word NLEs started going in my mentions about like, well, this NLE though clearly is a superior piece than, and I was just like, dog, what cartoon character donut hole did you just fall out of and start typing at me? Why is this happening to me? What did I do to deserve this? I'm just a citizen. uh anyway. Puke noises. This dude, we all know, right? We all know the thing, right? He doesn't have a bicep swivel, so we're all over it, right? Like it's, I'm, I know I'm a little late to the party here. He has this, which got forgotten a whole lot when it was pointed out he didn't have a bicep swivel, so he has a forearm swivel. I've seen a lot of good photos of this dude, whereby he seems to still be able to look pretty good without a bicep swivel, and that's neat, right? I'd love a bicep swivel, but since there isn't one here, we all accept it's not here, and we continue on. Like, yeah, obviously I'm not gonna. I need to figure out a better arrangement for this thing. Hang on, if I go here, I would like to have a bicep swivel, and I would like to also have an ab. I would like a bicep swivel more than an ab crunch, admittedly, but it still is fun. Like, actually, I didn't know that this was detented. Can you hear that? Still got a waist and a neck, which is, as far as emotions go, this is like really important stuff to me. V-Sode's a hard tono. I didn't want to like go hard. I just haven't. I have a knee jerk at stuff like that. And yeah, the closed system market is annoying. I like it when I reap little benefits, like my phone just knows what my laptop is and is now a webcam. You like the T-pose shoulder. Oh yes. This is just hitting the crest of a T. It's like a sort of sad T. But yeah, I don't mean like, don't you mock my OS. But also, I was like, oh man. I hope we're not going to do this. And we didn't, clearly. I was being mean. Richard Reyes, hello! Selling toys was fun. Deluxy doesn't transform, which is... Yeah, I mean, it's a Bumblebee movie, right? So he sort of has a little bit of a cheat code where it's like, there's really nothing on here that needs to look like a real world thing. But that doesn't mean it immediately looks great. Like, you still got to be able to ride out a vibe. And this is Bumblebee movie Shockwave, so he also has, like, check out them curvy thighs, the massive boob, and he kind of has the backside. He is digitally speaking a heavy retool of Optimus Prime. So you can see some of the Optimus Prime curvature here and there. And yeah, they went for this dark, shiny gunmetal plastic, which it just looks nice. It's not too light. It's that really nice dark glossy finished, however that works, plastic that makes it look metallic. It has the optical illusion. Was there ever a 3.0 Shockwave? No, but there was a YOLO Park Shockwave that was a retool of their very expensive Bumblebee movie model kit that nobody really talks about anymore because YOLO Park have pivoted to do very different products now. Although, don't they also have like an enormously expensive Optimus, now that I'm in the midst of saying this? I can't remember. Where did my redacted cola go? I don't like this name brand stuff, but we gotta do what we gotta do. stay caffeinated. Yeah, absolutely flat ass. Like, well, it's two cheeks. It's just that they're there. They just have to grow some meat, you know. Yeah, it's like a G1-ish, but super detailed-ish, like gigantic Optimus thing, which is neat. You know, I kind of like that. Like they pivoted to doing these little tiny things, but almost so they could then just do a big ass thing without any concern for their own well being. I kind of appreciate that. Hank Hill. Oh yeah, we got double Hank Hill call outs here. Yolo Park's doing another Optimus in this economy. Look. It's actually the baseline of the economy now. For those who didn't see, by the way, this thing is a pop-offable thing, and then there's a little hand inside. The bigger Yellow Park that's the Bumblebee movie design is not a model. Yeah, that's not a model kit, but isn't there one that is a model kit that's like a gajillion pieces to put together? Because I'd swear someone told me they put it together. Oh, hello, Bun Yeast. Have you played with any recent Sentai mecha? I have not, but they look like they've gotten very Tobot and Carbot adjacent, which is neat. I don't have an ass! That's not a very good impersonation of a Shockwave. Transtech Shockwave. I don't have an ass. I think I was going for slightly sultry on Transtech Shockwave. But I was also like, that was the year 2008. I don't think I was really making a lot of big decisions. Wish we'd gotten a Bumblebee movie Windblade design. Yeah, I wish I could say confidently, surely there's just one in the concept art, but I think they didn't go as evergreen as they just went with a list of G1 Season 1 names when it came to designing stuff for that. So yeah, that's probably going to be a fan art thing, if at all. I do appreciate he can just, like, have this thing dangling off of him while he's walking around, like, don't tell me it's not attached, I don't care! Where did the instruction manual go? We should see how this works. I assume it was Travis Knight gave them a list of names. Yeah! Yeah, G1 Season 1 and RC. Okay, so what do they say to do with this thing? So I put it on the side that they like, so I guess I'm doing okay. That's a lot of instruction manual dedicated to you can put the gun on or off his arm. That's like 25% of the instruction manual. Uses the gun on a hose as a melee weapon. Is this 5mm, actually? Oh, you fools! Hasbro, you fools! Yeah, it's not 5mm on the nozzle. You can't just carry it like a giant club. That's... Ugh. Return it. Garbage toy. Can't believe this. Oh, when he's... It looks like a Dark Souls weapon, too, when he's like... When I've got it balanced in there. Is it 3mm? Maybe. I think it's got a 3mm nipple on the tip. I don't have anything here to test that, though. The perks of an H-tank. Short instructions, true. I'm going to guess my way through the hands, because I did one already by accident. Oh, by the way, a lot of people were like, dang, that Legacy Animated Optimus has a ball socket wrist. Let's look at this. Another ball socketed, wristed, fold-away hand. We got a thing. I think someone actually told me this happened before, and they were wondering if it was a thing, now that I'm saying it out loud. But, yeah, big thick ball socket on that wrist. Lazy. I don't know if my tuts are coming through as clearly as I would like them to. So you telling me to remove the gun? I refuse to remove... No! They're courageous! They are not cowards! Step 1, pull the gun off the arm, but step 2, the gun is just hanging off of him. Excellent. Alright, we're here. We're in it. How about that add-on kit for Animated Optimus? Yeah, it's, like, I was telling a lot of people, first time in a very long time I've been legit, like, here and ready and kind of super down for a DNA design kit. Because usually they're doing completely fine work in ways where I'm like, that is super cool, but I don't want to spend like $50 on that. I feel like this is supposed to move. But yeah, the Optimus Prime kit is it's looking super cool. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. This does the pull and push pivot kind of thing. Yeah, Bumblebee Shockwave says no to parts foreman. That wire is there for a reason. We just let it hang. Picky Peeves, hello. Does this really follow the core Shockwave? I would assume so. I would assume so. I was realizing today as I bought this that I can't remember what core Shockwave does other than turn into an H. And I'm sure that one would say that is what it does. But, I mean, like, the fine details of how it turns into an H. Salamander, I'm low-key addicted to the DNA design stuff. Yeah, I think there is a world where I would be. But the price point that they tend to run is exactly above my impulse purchase comfort level. The gun plugs into the back of his head on the core. True. We talking hentai now. Holy moly. I've never even met a hentai before. Wait, that actually means something, doesn't it? Oh, here we go. I would like to someday get... Actually, there is one big regret I have. I really wish I'd gotten the DNA Designs ankle tilt shoes for Metroplex and Fortress Maximus, because apparently those Titan toys, like Metroplex, has gotten very rare. Very rare nowadays. And I really like Metroplex and Fortress Maximus until I try to pose them ever. Because, like, without ankle tilts, they suffer... is like the mild way to put it. Their posing them is suffrage. Something that like demonstrably was learned and acted upon when Triptychon came out. But I really want the other two to be able to do it, and I wish I'd gotten those slippers for them. Because I read feedback on the slippers, and I let bad feedback talk me out of the slippers, and years later in hindsight, I was like, that bad feedback is just bad. That's just feedback on any toy that ever comes out. That wasn't, like, specifically function-disabling feedback for something that's supposed to give ankle tilts to a Titan toy. Yeah, V. Santa Hartono. Without ankle tilts, they suffer, much like the regular human beings. I would be done for without my ankle tilts. Let me be real with you. Is there a wheel? No. Okay, there's a tab, so his abdomen tabs into his taint. Much like on a real human. Does it tab in, or does it just wedge? Maybe it only wedges in there. Like the core. One of the, wave sign, one of those tabdomens. Why don't we have 360-degree bicep swivels? Absolute garbage design. Call the devs. I remember when I had my moment when I was like a younger toy purchasing person, making videos on the internet about toys I purchased, and I had my moment where I was like, why do we care if the bicep swivel is 360 degrees? When do we ever rotate the bicep 360 degrees? And I was more angry about the world back then, so I got like legit mad about it. I was like, this is stupid. Why do we even care? Oh, Adachi Baby with the plastic analysis looks pretty good, nice and dense, purely off my expert sheen analysis. Yeah, you know, we got one thing I always have ready to go, you know. You can tell. Got stuff going on. 360-degree head rotation, that's another one. Why do we care if the head rotates 360 degrees? Why are we ever going to do that? Ooh. This whole thing just untabbed. I was about to complain about the arm placement, then this whole thing untabbed. It's like he knew. It's like my baby knew what I wanted to do. This thing has like tabulature all over the place. Even these friggin' things click in. I like that. That makes me happy. Yeah, no rattle sounds either. Good noise, 11 out of 10 plastic, hell yeah. Genuinely, I like to think that we all have a good sense of humor about this whole ridiculous pen thing. Like, I don't want to be a bully, you know? But the pen thing is really funny. And I hope somewhere out there people understand this is coming from a place of mirth and joy. Also, yeah, say no to parts forming. Who needs parts forming when you can do this? I think this is cool. Is this done? What a weird question. Is this done? Hang on, which way? Is this done? The pen thing isn't the dumbest thing from a review. Exactly. Scorp, I haven't thought about the pen until you brought it up. I know, I need to stop. It's... Someone will say, oh, the plastic quality is looking pretty good, and then I see a pencil sitting right here, and I'm like, no, I don't want to. You know? Can't resist your base urges, something about the intrusive thoughts, something. So I've tried to be kind of loud about how I like Cybertronian alt modes. So obviously, I think this looks kind of baller. I think this looks threatening. I like the kind of like up into the cannon, back down kind of. It's a little bit of like rail cannon chic going on here. We're utilizing my Pavlovian pen conditioning. The pencil thwacks, the new version of throwing against the chain base. Acecon, I agree. I like this a lot more than the four-legged walker thing. The walker thing, I think, is a valiant attempt, but eventually I'm just like, why not just an H-tank? Can this Shockwave float? Yes. The Greebles definitely help. Modern H-tank, yep. Yeah, V Santo Hartono. I've got a lot of microplastics in me. Actually, I need some more. Hang on, I need to... Oh! I'm very tired and punchy, by the way. The Toy Fair was... I only slept 2 hours before the Saturday Toy Fair day, the day one, the really busy day with the early bird hour. That was a mistake. I've been very tired since Saturday. That's why we rollin'! I also wish I had better lighting going on my head in here, but none of the lamps are plugged in. And this looked okay in the monitor, so I figured we'll just go with it. But yeah, the Toy Fair was very fun. I sold things. I brought my old Kenner Star Wars, most of which I got from a garage sale in Germany in the early 90s. I discovered that I had a complete Darth Vader and a complete Luke with both of the telescoping lightsabers and a complete Leia in Bouche disguise. So I was almost going to label everything as like, $2 to $5. And then those three, I looked them up and those got labeled $20, $15, and $40 in the case of Bouche Leia. And then I had all the rest of them labeled pretty low in a single bin. Anyway, those Kenner Star Wars were gone within 20 minutes of the dealer room opening. Most all of them to one guy. While the one guy was tipping the bin into his bag and buying the Luke Skywalker to go with them to make it a deal, $45 for all of it, someone else came up and offered me, would I give him $10 off if he bought Leia and, Bouche Leia and Darth Vader together? And I was like, sure. And I think that guy sniped the other guy. And then a third guy came up and said, no, you got to the bin before me! I turned the wrong way! So they were fighting over Kenner Star Wars. It was amazing, because those were not nice. Those were garage sale quality in 1991 tier Kenner Star Wars toys, and they were fighting over them. That Luke Skywalker, I was amazed when I looked on eBay and found ones as yellow as him, as urine core as him, still selling enough to make me charge $15 for one. And when I say urine core, Go look at a farm boy Luke Skywalker with telescoping lightsaber that isn't gem mint. They go urine core real fast. But it was very cool. And also, I put all my childhood Ninja Turtles out, all my childhood He-Man out, all bagged. A lot of it not complete because I haven't had time to look for the accessories. But I thought, like, I'll just mark them all a little bit high for what they are and see what happens. Blew through. My Panther still had a lot of the, like, almost all of the fur on, so I charged $40 for that one, and friggin' someone went ham, going like, I can't believe it. And I didn't charge 40 blindly, you know, like I looked at completed eBay auctions, so I wasn't going like, oh, you know, $20 for this old toy. Like I was trying to be a little bit sneaky smart about it. My whole toy dealer approach with old toys is like I look at completed eBay auctions, and then I don't shoot for the high end, but I also don't shoot for the low end. But if you negotiate with me, I'm very open to it. So it's kind of like people in a rush with lots of money will give me more money, but people who want to negotiate, were you just selling to downsize? Well, yeah, a lot of the childhood toys over here, I just haven't looked at at all, and I've kept them for you know, at least a decade, just going like, I will archive film all of them, but like every time I actually look at them, they're so jank that I'm like, and then I look at at used prices of the same figures, and I'm like, if I really care to archive film any of this, I could buy new ones for basically whatever I'm selling these for. But also I'm selling them because I like money to buy new things I'm interested in. Like, I sold enough, by the way, I'm going to turn it back to a robot. I sold enough on day one to comfortably go to ages 3 and up and purchase, Ocular Max Ignis, the all built-in combiner, hotspot, who I was super hyped for. And if selling some old Ninja Turtles led me to Ignis, I'm super cool with it. I've also still got some left over, so I'm still going to look for all the parts and then just, like, bag up parts regardless of if I still have the figures. But I did dig up my Dragon Walker and my Pizza Thrower, and nobody bought either of them, even though they were very, very big conversation pieces at the table. So now, these are the old ones. I got some new C batteries, so now I can finally test them to see if they even work. And if they do, add $10 to the price tags, baby. Oh, yeah, Ash R, the passion doesn't go away. It is kind of like, I do have to, like, put it in check sometimes of, like, am I gonna sit down and film a bunch of Ninja Turtles that I am not, like, super passionate about as an actual, like, entity? I just think Ninja Turtles are cool, and I had lots as a kid. Am I going to do that before I film more Transformers I haven't filmed, or more, like, Tobots I haven't filmed, or other things that really stoke my modern adult brain neurons? And it's kind of like, probably not. And then I'm like, oh, but I like filming old toys too. But then I kind of sit here and go like, I want to film old Transformers any day of the week before old other toys. So it's just a realism thing. And also, anything that I sell, I can always get back later. I can always buy another one. I put a bunch of my Playmates Star Trek The Next Generation up for sale. Wildly incomplete. I only sorted those into bags a little bit last time I was here in October. And they all sold. And I looked them up. I priced them very low because Playmates Star Trek The Next Generation, sealed prices on those things are like $12 to $20 a piece. If I ever really want to do a feature on Playmates Star Trek The Next Generation, I can just, like, come up with a budget for it as, like, as, like, a media project. Like, it's a budgetable media project. Those things are dirto cheap. Which is a shame, because they're really characterful. Because it's Playmates. It's 90s era Playmates. So the Star Trek toys Playmates did have this, like, slight Ninja Turtles, playfulness to their accessories. And yeah, Sideswipe Prime, it was so overproduced. Yeah, the bummer about Tobots is they go in and out of being affordable because there's like this multi-year lag as more of those series randomly seem to get picked up for distribution in English language territories that are not North America. Anyway, I got him back into robot mode. There doesn't seem... Oh, no, there is, up in the top. I was going to say, I don't know if he has, like, a light pipe intake, but I think he has one up top. So that's kind of cool. This is just the appetizer, though. Now we're on to the main event. I'm gonna put him back here. Gonna put him back in an old review position of check out the alluring robot in the background while I'm talking about something else. Bit. Let's put him back there. Make sure that he's looking at you. Shocked by the content. You content. Ugh, I gotta wash my mouth out. I said the word. Bah. Oh my god, I can see Anki through him. Good times. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, Adachi baby, the lack of a bicep swivel is getting in the way of his ability to seduce because he can't stroke his own thigh the way I'd like him to. So, you know. It is a critique point. Absolutely. Oh, Adam Bill Moo. I think that I still need to actually record the thing I wrote about why content is such a dirty, dirty word. I'm not mad at anyone who uses it unless they're trying to be like annoying, but it's a lousy word, and we've all been tricked. The entire culture has been tricked into just saying content like it's a real thing, and it's not a cuss word. Any more figures to show off in this stream? I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe. Generally, when I say content, I'm spitting it out. Yeah, I'm not content with the word content. But this was a thing that I flipped out because I was looking at GameStop.ca, and I was like, he's on Click and Collect. Where is he on Click and Collect? He's on Click and Collect at the Magic GameStop here! So I went onto the internet and was like, I wish to purchase one for pickup at the Magic GameStop, please. And then when I went there to pick them up, they also had Shockwave sitting on the shelf. They also had Silverbolt and Shard. And I'm like, I can't deal with this. I'm not buying 4 new things right after a toy show where I bought Ignis. But I might go back for Silverbolt. I don't know. I might go. They had so many Silverbolts, though. They had like 7 shards at the Magic GameStop. Why not in my town? The town everyone thinks is the capital of the country, and it's not. But out here, where everyone keeps thinking this is Vancouver, and it's not. We got the Magic GameStop. Unbelievable. Ignis is the Ocular Max hot spot from their in-progress Devastator. Why so many sharts? Yeah, I don't know. It's something to do with like the general protein content that we got in the food out here. Yeah, I didn't think I said it that way, and I wasn't sure if you meant to type that, but you know, it happens. It happens. Let's open this like a true fan. Shards at the comic shop. Gears is a magic little dude. Oh yeah, Gears is lovely. I like Gears. Lots of green rocky sharks going on all over the West Coast. By the way, here's Megatron. Oh, jeez, I didn't notice this before. Hang on. I was gonna say, here's Megatron's backdrop. Is this just like a cropped screen cap from the sequence people don't shut up about? Hang on. That's artwork, right? Those are a bunch of Seekers, right? I was about to say, if that's the Decepticon trio from the scene, and then they ran a blur filter over it, I'm gonna laugh my head off. But I'll give you a better look at this. Man's photoshopped. Towards my uncle with a pizza. Yeah, I mean, Asicon, it's like me in 2024. That's artwork, right? Speaking of consequences of the permeation of the term content to describe creative work. Maybe it's a hot take, but algorithmic generated picture content is, in my opinion, a consequence of the normalization of calling art content. Adachi Baby enjoying the content that they are consuming. That's the other thing, is like the number of people who got used to just saying, I like to consume. It's like, dog, slow down for a second. I've said it too in past, but then I went like, wait, I need to slow down for a second. Wait, why am I using the verb? Why am I using the verb to self-describe? I might have some self-loathing issues, but this is a step too far, even for me. It's getting all these tags. They're all falling onto this white carpeted floor. I'm never going to find them. They'll be a fun present for me in another couple months next time I'm here. Have an insatiable appetite for content. I need more of it. I don't like that my jaw works. Put more in. I need content input. Oh, that's sticking off a little bit far, and I'm just noticing the other peg. Show us more robots. Gotta unhinge my jaw. Anyway, I have been chasing this guy ever since TFCon LA, but I was not, how do you put it? I don't enjoy setting money on fire enough to want to have purchased one of the $90 ones that they all were at TFCon LA. By the way, if you weren't there were a bunch of these, at least 3 or 4 of these at TFCon LA, but every dealer who had one had it up to like $90 US. Do not. Never worth. But it also put the flavor in my mouth, and I was like, damn it, it made me even more want to catch one with my GameStop Platinum, with my 10% off, because I've had plenty of opportunities to purchase this off of Jeff Bezos' book website for retail price, but I'm like, but I could get another $7 off, and I want to. Oh, bees, you didn't know. Yeah, they were $90 US in the dealer room because people who were looking for them were super hard looking for them. It happens. Riders Strike, welcome indeed to Vangelus Island. We're here. We don't even need a dedicated light on this guy. We're just using the room ambient light because he's so shiny. Now, pardon me, I am going to bust out the instructions for Megatron because I love his modes. I love Cybertronian modes, and a Cybertronian triple changer is scratching 2 of my favorite moles. But also, there's probably not an immediately apparent visual logic to how the modes work. And oh boy, there's a lot more folding parts on this gun. What? Why? What's going on? Why can I do that? Huh? Wait, hang on a second. What? I also haven't looked up a single review of this guy because I was like, I'm gonna get him, so I don't need to know how he works. Are you kidding me? I gotta go into the viewable zone here. Excuse me? Yo. It kind of does the thing. That's really cute. I didn't know that they even, like, remotely considered doing that. It kind of goes in the G1 spot. Don't break the $90 toy. Don't worry. Don't worry. This one ain't $90. Yeah, so you can store it on his back, but, like, they made it look kind of like the thing. That's really cool. Anyway. These instructions imply to me that they are leaving his fusion cannon TM on his arm, so I will do the same. I had a real fun moment. I was watching, like everyone else, this week. I'm kind of getting the impression of. I watched the Jenny Nicholson Star Wars Hotel video because I thought that whole thing was fascinating. And I really liked the little bit she had about people who say all the legal words. Because that's like that is one of my favorite jokes to do on the podcast, is make Aaron and TJ say the entire legal name of a Legacy toy because they're so incredibly long. But I didn't know there were people who unironically do that, and I thought that was very interesting. Like, I didn't know there were people who kind of actually have a thing about, like, it's not the Star Wars Hotel, it is Galaxy's... I keep wanting to call it Andromeda's Edge. I don't know why. I'm always mouthing the word Andromeda whenever that thing comes up. But, you know, I guess it is a form of, like, franchise pride. By the way, the Knuckles do the thing. Wait, whoa, hold on. How many... Okay, it's just 2. I wasn't expecting the mid-knuckle joint. So he actually can do a good open hand. I thought he was stuck with the kind of silly claw open hand, but you can straighten that. That's kind of cool. It's the Mass Effect fan in you. Yeah, I did not know about the mid-knuckle. I'd missed that. Yeah, so that's why, Prime, you're down with Transformers Generation Studio Series Leader Class Bumblebee Movie Concept Series Megatron, as am I. By the way, Butterfly Joint, hello? It's kind of cool. He can do a hunkin' pose. I'm hunking and swole! 2024 Hasbro Transformers Generations Legacy United Generation 1 Universe Deluxe Class Optimus Prime Dead Edition. One only hopes we have a Dead Edition version coming of that currently only seen in artwork toy. I want to, like, think of the sheer meta-narrative implications of a toy universe Optimus Prime being dead. Like, what does that even mean? Do I have to fold these in? No, that just ain't fitting. How does this fit? I can't make his fist fit in the hole. His fist keeps getting stuck in the hole. It's not going through. Oh my god, I'm on fire. This is indeed the old filming desk. And what says 2009 any better than I can't get the fist to fit in the hole? Because I can't. Am I missing something? Do the fingers have to assume a certain, like, level of curl? Is the thumb on a joint? No, the thumb is molded. It's not a personal problem. A lot of people have trouble getting the... Okay, so you do have to get the fist in... You have to get the index finger... You have to get it in here. You have to put the index finger in here, and then you can curl the rest up like this. And then it's all set. I got it fixed. I thought you had to do a wrist swivel, but no, you just got to get the index into the inner hole, into the you know, the meat hole on the palm. Demonetize what? Adachi baby, to come clean with your hand curl into cavity issue. This is a place of honesty, alright? This is a place of honesty and discovery and growth. What if you review your old desk? Really, it's mostly, I showed a bunch of it, it's mostly just this texture, you know? You lost me at the meat hole. What kind of coward advertiser is going to hear meat hole and not hear profit, alright? That's all I'm going to say. I just noticed he's got, like, really glossy red painted biceps. That's kind of sick. Welcome to Whole Chat. Get these things folded back. Anyway, as I was, for those who are just joining, by the way, hello, I'm on the West Coast, and I'm attempting to stream out of the original filming location, because it's where a Cat 5 cable is that lets me plug directly into the internet. Hang on, am I supposed to be bending these in? After the really nice Earthspark and Legacy United instructions, I was not prepared to get back to the Dregs with Studio series, where everything is dark purple on dark gray and I can barely see anything. It's not doing it for me. Is Megatron the bottom or is Shockwave? Hi there, Brian. The Dregs. It is the Dregs. This is. I can barely see anything on these stupid instructions. They're so. I don't know. I'ma say it. This is Dregsville. This is what did I do to deserve this? You know, this is It's nothing. I've been rude to instructions, but me and Aaron are probably gonna one day have a hit put out on us by the confirmed actual guy who makes the instructions that was confirmed during the Unicron campaign. But like, I don't know, bro, like make better instructions. Like, I'm trying to have a constructive crit here. My constructive crit is, please make better instructions. Thank you. Okay, I do have these the wrong way around. Yeah, back to podcast instructions discourse. Rodimus Supreme, hello! He clearly lives in a cabin in the woods. Yeah. That's the thing. I like that nature shot of Unicron in the cabin, like, kitchen. It looked really good. I'll take it easy, Trans Salamander. Say hello to thine cat. I send greetings. Cat won't understand. Cat will be like, what? Why? But, you know, it's the, it's the thought that counts. There we go. They appear to have the wings fully off. Like, triple changers make me happy for one reason, and another reason, and then, like, maybe the fourth or fifth reason is, like, stuff like this, where you get, like, long walker mode Megatron. Yeah, bees. Cat's like, that ain't food. Can't eat a greeting. What time is it over there? It's just after 10 p.m. over here on the West Coast. So I knew this was going to be like a very odd time in general, but I wasn't sure if the stream would even work. So, you know, here we are. Okay, what are you trying to tell me? Step 12 over here. What's step 12 trying to tell me? You know? That does mean it's 5 after 1 in the morning over on the East Coast. Like, is it telling me to fold this up? I see a hinge in there. Okay, so I folded it up. I assume it wants me to fold this forward to put this thing in there. You know, first rule, right? Communication. First rule of anything. Ah, that's not what I want to do. What? Wait. Wait, how does this... Oh, there we go, there we go. So now it's on like a double hingey thing. I'm doing whatever the first mode is. Oh, it is the tank mode. I just looked ahead. Okay, now it's starting to tell me what to do here. Use the outer slot. I still think there are better ways to have communicated some of this. Oh, where'd all the hearts come from? Flame will revive. You're in the Midwest. Oh, you're on that. I always mix up Mountain and Central Time. You're on one of the Central Mountain Times. It took me a shocking amount of time in my life to kind of like encounter and understand the notion that Pacific and Eastern weren't the only two time zones. By the way, hope all you Americans had a good, like, today off. I don't know, man. During the toy show, they mentioned, because there's people who come from Washington State, they were like, something long weekend, and I was like, what long... Huh? And then I kind of, like, was checking around a bit, and I'm like, oh, my American friends are all talking about a long weekend. It's not one of ours. My mom was confused. She was like, what long weekend? And I'm like, not one of ours. This is for other people. Piggy Peeves, it's like when I was helping my mom the other day with some of the kids in her 5th grade, finding out one of the kids was writing stuff in dark blue on black. Holy moly. That kid has a pact with the devil. Hello, Star Nick. Regards from Chile. Hello. Thanks for tuning in. What toy show did I go to? The Cherry Bomb Ultimate Toy Fair. I think I got it. It's Cherry Bomb Toys do a toy show. I think it's called the Ultimate Toy Fair. I constantly call it the Cherry Bomb Toys Show, and I don't think that's the actual name. I am not well optimized for SEO. I will happily tell anyone. Hang on, I need to get a look at what the line art's trying to do here. Okay. So you want me to put these into each other. Luke Carvalho! Hello, it's me. I'm on the West Coast, don't tell anybody. Well, I've been telling everyone. That's not a double hinge. I just thought it was. Okay, never mind. Yeah, listen, my content rant, I think, excludes me from being SEO optimized. I think that I'm banned from... SEO doesn't return my calls I keep going like, what do you stand for? And it's like, for the 500th time, I stand for search engine optimization. Stop calling this number. And I'm like, I have questions. Which search engine? Are you optimized for Alta Vista? And if not, why? Not. Call the text color purple. Yeah, let's ask Jeeves. Why does Megatron have hand nipples? It's so that he can be milked without having to disturb his pectoral musculature. It's a Transformers thing. Alright, I'm finding tabs now. I'm starting to see how this comes together. Getting hype. Triple changing Megatron always makes me so excited. Even the Blitzwing one with the headmaster. Yes. Someone was writing down and asking. Surely not that one. Oh no, that one. You weren't here, maybe, for the Sandstorm, the Legacy Sandstorm stream where I revealed I like all the triple changers. Even Double Dealer. This is actually kind of cool. I like that you just pop 2 hunks of tread a little bit farther down back here. Just gonna bing up Megatron milking. Bees is always there for it. Bees is always there to do the things that we are not trained to do, that we laymen, we non-scientists are not trained to do. Beekman's world? More like Beesman's world. Oh, not one of these things. Okay, what are you doing? What's happening? What is happening in the instructions? Which way is the elbow? Incog tabs, baby! Starnick recently got Earthrise Snapdragon. Nice. I liked Snapdragon. I actually like both those toys. I had a good ape face, so you know, whatever. I had a good ape face, and you know what? I deserved it. I deserve to have a good ape face because I am a friend of triple changers. So absolutely, the triple changer that went wrong for a lot of people went right for me. It's just, you know, it's how it goes. But if I had to pick a least favorite triple changer, then I would pick Classics Octane. Deluxe Classics Octane is not a very good toy, and tries my patience the most of all the triple changers. I'm not even being controversial. Back in the day, I was still one of the only people who was nice to that Octane. But nowadays, you know, now that I'm eating better as a triple changers aficionado, I can unleash a little bit more aggro on that Octane. I'm sure Octane appreciated that. Yes! I expect Octane appreciated that. You know how many people didn't like that Octane toy back in the day? So many people didn't like that Octane. It was just down to me. It was down to me being a good altruistic person. Oh, I kind of like how this turret comes together to look more round. Oh, dog. This is sick. Hang on. Is there a tab endpoint? Does it just rest back here? I think it just rests back here. I don't care. So it's using, what? A dedicated turret swivel here. And then the arms hunk around but tab together to lock so that they're rounder as a turret. And then this thing tabs in a way where it can lift up and down because it's two 5mm ports in parallel. I love this. I like this a lot. It was a very high-octane debate about that toy. Hey, listen, you may colon P, but you're not wrong. You're not... The trenches back then. Oh. Yeah, this is really cool design work so far. And yeah, Double Dealer. Most of the criticisms are absolutely true, but I still like that toy. That tends to be my approach to a lot of triple changers, because I'm like, a lot of the criticisms to me are also just part of what you get when you start doing a triple changer. And so to me, it's more about like what are the design decisions being made. Like in the case of this, for instance, this is friggin' cool because this could have been just the arms hunked together with the fusion cannon on top with a slight move over to centralize its mounting point. Instead, we get this wicked cool stuff. Yeah, Orange Man, you were there. Yeah. The Thrilling 30s Blitzwing Trenches. That was like my home for 8 months. I remember when I first revealed this on the stream a couple of months ago with Sandstorm, or a couple weeks ago with Sandstorm, where I was like, people were like, but surely not the bad Blitzwing. And I'm like, I absolutely mean the bad Blitzwing. But also, every time I bring up the Blitzwing, you know, people like Bees will always immediately chime in that people were just mean. Blitzwing's fine. And, you know, not to get into the straw man side of things, but also there is something to be said about the vocal minority. But also that toy was a little bit broken. Like you kind of had to fix things on it, but you know, I like fixing things. Forgot to, no, don't have the sight on top. The sight's on top, right? Maybe I didn't turn it like all the way. Yeah, he's got this. He's. I like the idea Megatron does need the sight on top, or he just can't aim. You know, if someone runs up on Megatron and just spins his gun like that, he's like, no! Shooting all over the place. Ah! Oh, that's a tab, not the sight. Oh, you mean this sight? Well, this thing does this thing. Hang on, I'm looking at the lines. Oh, so I had him. I thought you meant this as in like the pistol sight. So no, you meant this, which I didn't see sculpted there. There is actually, yeah, there's a scope sculpted there. So I did have Megatron in a position where he was shooting wildly in every direction except forward. Good, that means I'm a hero. GoBot's copter energy. As Megatron keeps the consistent visible head in tank mode. I mean, yeah, you could swivel his head around. So he's always checking where... I can't... wait, can you? Or can you not? Like, what if I didn't rotate his head 180 degrees? Would he just be, like, looking up? Yeah! Oh! No! Look! You can totally make him a real movie Megatron! He looks like he's a chibified Megatron piloting the tank. Look at him peeking out of there. That's great. He looks so angry. Real movie Megatron mode. This is going to be the big reveal where they're like, what? What is this? If, you know, before they deleted him from the movie. Like, what is that tank? What is this tank? It's me! That human tank appears to be shooting at us. Why? Why? It's me, Prime! Recognize this face! Before I killed your brother! Oh, I'm coming in so loud. I'm sorry. I'm getting excited. I'll put it back. I'll put it back. This thing's making me be loud. All right, I'm gonna try. I got the impression that the jet mode is not actually a massive transformation, yet it still takes up this much instruction space, for crying out loud. I thought for a second that there's gonna be a bit at the end here going like, here's where to put the fusion cannon in tank mode, and I was gonna yell at somebody, but no. This new War Thunder leak is wild. Audio's fine, not distorting. Okay, because in my audio meter, when I was yelling, I killed your brother, it was a solid red block. So I assumed it was just coming in like absolute garbo. But yeah, Scorp, Revenge of the Fallen homage. Alright, so now we put the tab on top. Split them arms out. It's clipping, but it's fine. Okay, thank you very much. When it comes to this kind of mic, like I'm just relying on the OBS audio monitor, and it's like it was just a wall of red that whole time. Crossovers Judge Doom when? Alright, so you're telling me what to... This is the thing this instructions are doing. You know how usually, right, Transformers instructions have a close-up showing you, like, this goes into here. These Megatron ones have close-up showing you this tab goes out of here, and it's really confusing me, because that's not the language of Transformers instructions. Does that make sense? Like, that's not how we speak Transformers instructions. Dr. Doom custom, holy moly. Do we have any idea what's happening with Reactivate? All I know is someone talked to them at a thing and they said 2025. So I just assume games development is happening to it. They're deving a game and it's taking a while, you know? Games deving. Wait, what am I folding up? Oh, no, I'm folding out this block. Okay. Nose cone confirmed. Fully erect. Oh, wait, now am I folding his head up and turning it around? Are you kidding me? It's a polite way to say dev hell, yeah. My larger assumption is the project scope of Reactivate has been altered more than once. So they're having to like rebuild the game over and over again, and it probably sucks to be a part of the team right now, is my assumption. It probably is a very... Like, it's not like, oh, an unprecedented disaster, but it's probably a whole lot of having to redo work over and over, and I assume that is very unfulfilling at a certain point. How much of this is just putting them back into robot mode? Oh, wait, what's tabbing into what now? Who remembers the Transformers MMO that became a MOBA that became nothing? Yeah. Piggy Peas says, it happens, I just don't get why they'd reveal it to just keep delaying. So I think, like, basically that is what happens, is like they thought that they were set. Let's do the reveal. Now someone else has come in with a, level of production authority that says, no, actually, let's change everything. And thus, the journey continues. Like, has anyone here, this is going to be a weird question, anyone here ever been in a situation where you're working on something, and you have multiple project managers? Because that's kind of what this thing reminds me of, is there's probably multiple layers of project managers appearing and manifesting over and over again. And you are not supposed to have multiple project managers in a scope like this, but sometimes people just do. And it's a real big ol' mess. I see some yup and ugh. Okay. General Techno, I've been in situations where months of work went nowhere. Yeah. PT, thank you for correcting to converting. I was about to say we could get in legal trouble for that. Yeah, I went to tank mode, and I liked it, and now I'm going to jet mode. I think you're describing my dissertation process. Yeah, so, like, I don't know, I've been on this tangent a bunch of times, and so I try not to, like, I'm trying not to speak out of place, but, like, I have a little bit of project management education that has taken me fairly far, is how I would put it. In the scope of things I have done. And I found it's a very useful skill set to, like, kind of know a little bit about project management. And I've become more, I'm not going to say, like, aggressive, but I've become more confident in asserting some points about project management as time has gone on. And I confer with, I am in the fortunate position to be able to occasionally confer with very long-lived, successful, confirmed to be good project managers. And so I've asked the question before of, like, is it normal and good? Is it normal and or good to have multiple PMs in the same project? And generally the answer is always, like, it's definitely something that happens, and it's usually bad. And in terms of filmmaking, an analogy is, do you ever have multiple directors? And is that usually good or bad? And because in filmmaking, the director is basically the project. Filmmaking is basically project management, to a certain degree, with just, slightly different skill sets, maybe. And if you're in a position where there are multiple people fulfilling the director role, right, and they all have an equal amount of directorial say as to what goes on, that is bad. That's usually pretty darn bad. Because it means that nothing ever happens. And it means that everyone resets the parameters over and over and over again. Because suddenly everyone wants to have their bag, and everyone wants to have been the one who saved the film, the project, whatever. Oh, now we just got Office Space stuff going on. Oh, no. Yeah, V Santo Hartono. Like, I say basically because, like, sometimes I have encountered some folks who have balked a little bit when I said it, which I admit to me is kind of weird if you know one or the other, I guess, or one or the other. But, like, there are folks to whom, like, filmmaking is still a little bit of, like, it's an artistic, mysterious process, and it absolutely is artistic and a little mysterious, sure, but, like, it's also project management, because you have people who assume roles, and it is better for parts of the project if people, once they have been assigned a role that they are effective at, it's usually pretty good for them to stick to that role as much as possible, because you don't want to like shut out someone's good input, but for the sake of an efficient project, eventually you kind of need people to like, I hate the phrase, but it's, stay in their lane, for lack of a better term. Like, I once was working on a student thing way back in film school, and we had a guy who was really like hype about directing. And so we were doing kind of like we were doing a small project. He was on sound. He was happy to work on sound, but he kept giving directorial input, and it was it was interesting as a student at the time to see it in action, like how that eventually is a detriment to everything going on, because we could no longer rely on the sound guy, because the sound guy kept pausing to come over and talk to the director and give directorial input. And everyone, we're all classmates, so we're not like being rude, but at a certain point it's like, is the sound ready? And I'm trying to like concentrate on the role I've been given in this, project we're doing, and I can't, because you keep coming over here and talking about non-sound stuff. And so in an IT department, setting, for instance, it's like if you had a new user interface and you had, a graphics. I'm really, really, by the way, broad stroking this. I know there's more roles than what I'm about to say, but like, let's say you had a project lead who designs the overall vision. You had a graphics designer who's designing the graphic elements. You had a UI interface coder, and you had like some testers. And then like somewhere in there, the graphics designer keeps recoding the UI interface because they have a better idea of like the hand feel of the green button or something. And then eventually it's kind of like, why is the graphics department recoding the green button over and over again? This is getting very confusing, and the process isn't making any sense. I don't know. That's a very, very weird, vague, and like I'm like turning things into weird like children's building blocks, but like I don't know. It's an interesting topic to me, because I think it really is like a huge part of what makes a lot of creative endeavors work or not, is the efficacy of the project management, whether like even if the project management isn't really specifically trying to be hardcore project management following agile or whatever buzzword they're using right now, but like there still are tenets of that stuff that are important. Sorry, I'm just seeing like there's a slot in a tab I hadn't noticed before. Techno, you were right. The legs do a lot of really interesting reshaping. I lost my train of thought. Now I'm looking at the chat. Oh, Wavesign knows about agile scrums. So low key, I've learned about some of the like PMI etc. buzzwords from folks who are deep in and who are very good at what they do. But like one of those folks that I know really hates jargon buzzwords when they are used exclusively in place of normal English, and I think has occasionally had moments of like, if I hear the phrase agile scrum one more time. I feel like this is supposed to tab in here. Buzzworthy buzzwords. Anyway, whatever creative projects you're working on, treat them as projects, because they are. And, write a neat little bullet-pointed plan if you're having some trouble. Like, little project management things can be very helpful sometimes. That's one of the things I use to market myself here and there is, if, say, there's... now, it's sort of a thing I picked up in the last couple of years. One of the things I offer is like, hey, if nobody's fulfilling this role yet, I can draw us up a basic project plan of like, when we should do X, Y, and Z. And especially in like non-creative with non-creative clients. It kind of sounds insulting. I don't really mean for it, but I don't know how to, clients who do not produce creative pieces themselves, but would like to have, for instance, like an educational video made. They often tend to really appreciate that. As opposed to like a very pie in the sky kind of like, I'm really sure that we're going to dreamscape our way into this, or this. It's kind of like, hey, I can draw us up like a bullet point of things that we can follow, because the worst part about getting going on a project is everyone going like, especially on a video oriented project, is if a lot of people involved start going like, guess it's time for us to start making movies here or something, huh? Because it's like you really want to skip that step as much as possible. Because also if everyone's kind of taking a sort of, how do you put this, kind of a goofy tone towards everything going on, it's hard to know that they're going to actually want to like seriously do some work that you need them to do. When can we expect the project code Project Vangelus? Project Vangelus sounds like some friggin' pulpy thing where I'm trying to like design a new human. Execute Project Vangelus! Also, I'm a fool. I've been trying to peg the cannon into both arms, like with the turret. I just looked and it's like, you don't even do that for this mode. It's like, it's telling me like, you gotta calm down. I love to get a nice fresh whiff of classic Vangelus. Hang on, I'm going to take the fusion cannon off. I want to make sure this is even like going together right. Those of you who know, let me know if I'm on the right path here with the jet mode. Like, I feel like I more or less got it, but I want to make sure I'm not like missing some kind of key tabulature here. I like the shape a lot. It's making me happy. Looking forward to when he finds the crotch peg. Which crotch peg? I feel like there have been a bunch. Is there like a peg that the fusion cannon hooks into? Because that sounds baller. $6 million Vangelus! I super duper missed something that this cannon does. I just don't know what. Oh, hey, is this it? Is this it? Like the little nub into there? Did I find it? What? Oh. It's trying to seat. I just see hearts everywhere. Yes, that's the one! Okay. Crotch peg achieved! This is weird. This is a very courageous tab slot setup to set up on a toy like this. Wow. This feels like it has to go in at the world's most specific angle. Because if I have these parts all tabbed in, which I do, That's just seated in. Okay. It's off center in a weird way. Like, see what I mean? Yeah, the Earth Spark Prowl getting turned off in Japan is actually a bigger bummer for Japanese fans because that was going to be the first release of the Cyberverse Prowl Deluxe in Japan. Uh, yeah, a lot of these do need specific angles. It's just this is like a wedge shaped tab going into an asymmetrically slotted hole on a round part on a double/triple jointed removable cannon fixture. It's just a whole lot of stuff going on. I'm kind of like, this is a lot of work when you've got this right here. You're doing this for the planet, says the wedge-shaped tab. Yeah, I've kind of got the cannon's like centered now. So I think I've got this. I like the overall predatory shape. And I think, like, they want me to fold these... Wait, there's a whole other place to put the... Okay, so after all that, the instructions are also like, you can also just tab the cannon... Sorry, you can just peg the cannon on top, too, if you want. I'm like, I'm not doing that now. Not after all this. Not after the journey we've been on. I'm not some kind of stinking coward. I like these. I liked these on the Studio Series The Fallen alt mode as well. Just like vestigial flight mode appendages that feel like they can pinch things. That's a happy place. Whoop, I untabbed something. Yeah, TF1, I got the impression Transformers 1 has been in development long enough to still be a heavily aligned origins story idea book piece. I'm calling it that because I hate the phrase aligned continuity because it's not a continuity, but I could have tried to do work to stop that when it was new and I didn't. So I take some of the responsibility on myself for the perpetuation of that term. My apologies to you all. This is definitely also a figure where I'm going to discover more things as I mess with it, I think. But I really like the core of this. There is cool shapes going on. Super hype. I did not spend $90 US on it, too. Orange Man says, I'm just excited to see a kinder non-mass murderer movie Optimus Prime. Knock on wood when you say that, though, because we don't know the ending of the movie, right? Like, like what if part of being part from the aligned multiversal constant origin document, part of the agreement is the movie ends with Chris Hemsworth going like, anyway, killing's pretty fun, though. Hee hee hee. And then he takes a big swig from a bottle full of, like, human blood. Speaking of human blood, I finally picked up and read the first trade, the issues 1 to 6 of Skybound Transformers. That's a pretty cool book. Spoilers, he runs over a child. But yeah, DWJ is clearly having a lot of fun. I'm constantly laughing my entire human ass off when the Cybertronians keep just busting out German suplexes and ST. It's the STF that really got me. I was laughing. Yeah, Skybound is there's just almost, in my opinion, there's actually no point comparing Skybound to IDW. They have such different goals. Like, it's just a different Transformers book, full stop. Like, it's not a replacement, it's not trying to outdo IDW. It's just like some dude who really loves drawing pro wrestling poses, really likes Transformers, and has some story he wants to tell. But yeah, the Transformers keep doing pro wrestling to each other. It's very funny. Also, 2 for 2 on Cliffjumper getting to be interesting in comic books, because IDW 2 Cliffjumper got to be interesting, and Skybound Cliffjumper seems to be getting to be interesting, which is, like, better than Cliffjumper tends to have in media, you know? Like, IDW 2 and Skybound are both, like, they're both fighting back against, you know, the sea of dead Cliffjumpers that surround them. Also, yeah, Piggy Peeps, you should definitely finish one series before you start another. I find if you read multiple Transformer series at the same time, it's real easy to get your wires crossed. I haven't read any of the other Energon Universe stuff because I've been waiting for trades. My hope is, like, what I saw is they're doing a hardcover that is going to collect, like, kind of year one, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. That's how I'd like to read, like, you know, Duke and Cobra Commander and Void Rivals, is just a nice big hardcover with all of their European Union series put together. Classics Cliffjumper kind of got to be interesting, but, like, when you get to be interesting in fun pub fiction, like, there's still, to me, like, a bit of a dividing line, right? Like, there's more of a barrier of entry to that, to me, than, I guess people will disagree with me, but I think there's less of a barrier of entry to, like, reading the Cliffjumper 2-parter from IDW2, or getting a new trade, right? Than, like, finding out, like, oh, do you know they did fiction for a now defunct Transformers Collectors Club that sometimes had comic books. And he's Cliffjumper from the 2006 Collector's Toy Line universe that got mostly eliminated by a Diaclone reference Ultra Magnus with a skull head who makes Insecticon Junkions. I still have to read the Free Comic Book Day book. Oh, but yeah, it's a new artist, and like I think the art's great, but like art's subjective, right? Like it's either gonna work for you or it's not. Um, the thing I like the most about it is like it feels like it is it feels like the artist slash writer genuinely has a story that that they want to tell, and it feels like there aren't a lot of like bullet points being mandated, for lack of a better term, to like make stuff have better press. Even though those kind of events, I think, you know, you could say they're happening. There's a genuine eagerness to the storytelling that I'm kind of enjoying. It's like, you know, what I can definitely say about Tom Scioli's GoBots book, even though I think that it was a bit of a wasted opportunity, it definitely was still telling an interesting story that clearly came from a place of a lot of thought and a lot of like really, you know, eager willingness to like share a wacky story. Um and yeah, DWJ models like his Optimus Prime at least is literally the it's the new age Optimus, I think. He was very very open just to go like, yeah, I got this third party Optimus Prime toy that I'm using to as my reference. I'm like, that's funny. Yeah, I want to check out that Joe stuff because I keep hearing Cobra Commander is like doing all kinds of stuff I would enjoy. I did get to see Duke because Duke is in Transformers issues 1 through 6 at one point. So I was like, oh hey, cross promoting a universe. But I also, I guess it's also why I like, among other reasons, that's why I think it's kind of cute that like, you know, the current Transformers book is modeling its Optimus on a third-party toy because it's actively not trying to sell any toys. It's just like this guy has a Transformers comic he wants to make. Um, and that's you know, oddly what I really liked about a lot of IDW, even though it's cycled around in a weird way to turn into when do we get toys of these guys. Um, that's what I liked about IDW too, actually, is that like if you wanted toys of everyone, it was just go buy what's out now because that's who they're using as model references. And I was like, I don't mind this because I don't necessarily want a comic book about Transformers to sell me on Transformers toys. I'd rather I'd rather the stories just be cool in a way that I enjoy. Um, and so like one of the crits of IDW2 that I never really got behind or made time for was like they're not doing new robot designs because I was like, no, the dog, that just means that we actually own the toys already. We're skipping a step. Wave sign, I will never find out, but I have a genuine belief that Pharma was on a short list for being a redeco or retool of people for like at least like 2 years. Like there are so many toys that are almost Pharma that someone had to have at least gone like, you know, this guy looks a lot like Pharma, but then someone would go like, he does, but he also looks a lot like, name that Pokemon. And Pharma can still happen. I like, to be honest, it's less about like I can't believe they didn't do a Pharma toy yet, and more like I'm surprised Pharma didn't just like get shortlisted into Evergreen. Um, Pharma has massive Evergreen energy. Oh yeah, Orange Man. Like I'm an IDW2 enjoyer. Not even an apologist. I'm just like I understand why a lot of you didn't like it, and I don't care. I liked it. It's one of the keys of surviving a long-term fandom interaction with something that you enjoy is you eventually have to reach a point of like your criticisms are valid, they just don't matter to me because I still liked it, and being okay with that or being okay with that in the other direction, which I'm still working on obviously all the time. But it's part of what I enjoyed about IDW too. Was going like, nah, you know, none of you are saying the wrong things. I just don't think that they matter. Also, this guy, look at the inherent sass. These finger joints like wrap around his side skirts so naturally. I'm curious where the flatline stuff is going to be pulling from if that leak ends up being true. You know, obviously, there's only the one flatline, but like I'm wondering if it's going to be the flatline or if they're just using the name and it's going to be some brand new thing that resembles a medical Decepticon, and we might be entering a whole new flatline world that none of us were expecting. Here, this is a screenshot. This is a time warped screenshot right here. Here's the 2024 triple changing toy from a canceled design from the sixth live action Transformers movie. But if I leave this alone right here, this looks like a shot from a 2009 YouTube video. How's that for some time warping? That Megatron is definitely a power bottom. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I'm looking at him more. I see it now. Yeah, Picky Pews. Nautica should have been on the Evergreen shortlist too. Is he a catastrophic bottom? Probably. No. I think in this relation we were putting a top bottom label onto these two. Because like Bumblebee movie Shockwave has definitely got some short stack energy. Stands in the back, but like, you know, takes control when it matters kind of stuff. Yeah, but like with Evergreen, like I think Evergreen is possibly Evergreen's a weird thing to talk about because like I feel like we're probably not going to get like evergreenized characters again anytime soon. I think Evergreen is going to stick around as a concept. Um but I think it's going to be on autopilot more so than a conscious decision kind of thing, if that makes sense. It's all stemmed from like a conversation of like they should make like someone like Nightbeat Evergreen, and it's kind of like even though they made Barricade and Windblade Evergreen, it's weird to say it, but they have more reason to be Evergreen than a lot of beloved cultier G1 characters, because Windblade was the fan-built bot, and Barricade was sort of accidentally an iconic robot from 2007 onwards. So those two, I think, kind of just got in on the back of that. But I feel like Evergreen's doors are probably not very open, and I think Evergreen as a concept, if it gets looked at longer than a few minutes, is more likely to go away than it is to like welcome more designs in. But it's such a convenient concept because it does allow for market-friendly Transformers character delivery in capsules like, you know, the giant super simple soapbox type figures. So it serves a purpose. But I feel like it's not a living thing. If that makes any sense. T-Fanpage 101, yo, I saw you the other day. That's also like, that's just how I feel about Evergreen. I also don't run Evergreen, so everything I'm saying doesn't really matter. I'm not the director of Evergreen. I don't drive the Evergreen bus. Did I get Shockwave 83U? I got both of these at the Magic GameStop here on the island. Today, I picked up both of these. So the thing with Evergreen Barricade, right? What was said, Orange Man said, I wish Evergreen Barricade was based more on the '07 design instead of the Last Night. I always feel like Evergreen Barricade is a very... I want to know the history, right? Because I've always got the impression the Last Night adjusted Barricade to match a more evergreen appearance, while Evergreen Barricade simultaneously tried to look a little bit more like the Last Night Barricade, while simultaneously trying to be the evil repaint of Prowl. And so like it's like Barricade's designs all began to feast on each other at the same time while they still had the umbilical cords attached, and like, body horror ensues, and now it's impossible to know where one barricade ends and the next one begins. Anyway, that's how I've always felt about Barricade. Oh yeah, T fan page. I'm in the original filming room. It's the desk with that texture. Yeah, Rat King Barricade. Kind of like algorithmic visual content, yeah. Like I think whenever the current Evergreen Barricade formed, he was simultaneously trying to be Prowl and The Last Night, while The Last Night was simultaneously trying to be Evergreen and '07, and it was just like, and like this, all the meat just fused. I did end up selling the New York pack. Yeah, someone was looking at it super hard and then was very nervous to negotiate. And they were like looking right at listings on their phone. Like they were at it for like a long time before they even talked to me. So I was I didn't really want to like fight them too much, because I really wanted to deliver. I wanted to deliver the happy experience while keeping it above a certain level, so it wasn't just like plummeting in how much I was selling it for. Uh, that was near the end of Sunday, so that's when I was the most flexible. And yeah, that's the thing, because one of the points that has been made to me is like, why is Barricade Evergreen when he has no personality? And it's like, because he became like the iconic surviving '07 Decepticon, basically. He somehow was more visually memorable than Triangle Starscream, so he wins, basically. And yeah, in the games, Keith David Barricade was awesome. It's just like his best characterization was confined specifically to the DS games, right? Like even in the Xbox 360 game, he didn't really have as much cool stuff going on as in the DS games. In the DS games, he hijacks the police bandwidths or whatever and puts an APB out on a yellow Camaro and says, use deadly force with extreme prejudice. And I'm like, why didn't he ever do that in the movie? Decepticons DS is unironically one of the best Transformers stories, says the Orange Man, and the Orange Man is correct! Isn't Evergreen just generic stuff they reuse for material purposes, nothing specific but close to Cyberverse simply for relevance? It was supposed to be, like, the idea of Evergreen was supposed to be, let's make a G1 that is eternal from, like, 2010 onwards. So Cyberverse was referencing Evergreen more than Evergreen ever referenced Cyberverse. But then Evergreen, I think, was also developed under some of the same auspices as the aligned origin document. But because Evergreen is more easy to use as a marketing and like safety net concept, it has survived a lot longer and a lot more strongly than the old aligned origin document ever did. Acecon, Transformers DS is underrated. Yeah, it is the best '07 movie game, in my opinion. I played it before I played the 360 game. The 360 game made me actually just, like, sad. I, I drove over a tiny sidewalk bump with Bumblebee and I almost flipped over, and then I was just like, I don't want to play this anymore. Oh yeah, Sideswipe Prime, my understanding is Barricade did in fact survive the Bayverse by accident. I was reading something. I always forget. Barricade is only in the odd-numbered movies. He always shows up as though he's always been there and as though something happened off-screen during the even-numbered movies. And then he often, by accident, survives, even though there is proof that he was supposed to die more than once and just didn't. So he inadvertently keeps surviving, and they never wrote it into his character, which almost makes it better. Yeah, he's not in Revenge of the Fallen or Age of Extinction. It's the one bad part about Age of Extinction is there's no Barricade. Perfect movie otherwise, but no Barricade. You know, it's an unfortunate blemish on a piece of kino. Yeah, the Orange Man. Like I want to believe that was somehow on purpose, that he just disappears. Like they even kill Nitro Zeus, but Barricade just like out. I'm out. Yeah, T-Fan. Yeah, he absorbed Bumblebee's can't die ability. He shows up in the last night a couple times. He has like speaking lines with Jess Harnell, if I recall correctly, still doing his voice even. And then he's just like, I can sense this is where my colleagues usually start to get decapitated. Therefore, I'm leaving. Next movie, G.I. Joe versus Barricade. Barricade wins. I would love it so much. Oh, right, T-Fanpage. There were some cuts where he's voiced both by Jess Harnell and Frank Welker. Barricade is such a weird... Like the fandom created this whole mythos around Sideways because of a dub being different, basically. And yet, where is that for Barricade, when I think there is demonstrably even more proof that Barricade is some kind of, like, otherworldly, like, Nexus event? Yeah, the buy these toysness of the last night without a toy line to match. Well, it's like the toy line was doing... What I'll say is the toy line was doing its best. I think the toy line kept getting given, like, different sets of notes. Because, like, there's... You can almost sense a frustration across every The Last Night toy, kids' toys and collector toys put together, around Dragonstorm, where it's like the toy line is just, like, gritting its teeth and going, like... It's like, I think I get what Dragonstorm is, and then, like, you know, they make one Dragonstorm, and then the next Dragonstorm is just like, oh, so it's this. And then they make another Dragonstorm. Is it this? It's like every Dragonstorm is like the toy line, like, you know, blood vessel in the eye popping as it's like, did I get it right yet? And yeah, the imprisoned Decepticons. It's so weird seeing my hand in here like this. The imprisoned Decepticons, yeah, like the roll call, Berserker, whatever the hell that was. I mostly want 13 bot Dragonstorm because the movie said that they do it, so I'm just like, well, you said it. Do it. It's like Infernicus. I'm like, you said this is Infernicus. Do it. Yeah, Voyager Scorn is also amazing. Just whoever designed Scorn, or whatever group designed the Camp Scorn was a powerhouse during those years where they were just like, we're going to keep making good toys called Scorn. Like, low-key, the best Constructabot, objectively, is probably Scorn. It's not my favorite, but if I set my feelings aside, Scorn was probably the best Constructabot. Wasn't Scorn one of the Dragon Knights at the beginning of The Last Night? I mean, you know, Scorn should be evergreen. And Scorn should actually never be a Dinobot again. Scorn should just be a dinosaur transformer who is not a Dinobot. And that should be the start of some really interesting backstory. Yeah, I like Deluxe Scorn as well. Deluxe Scorn is just like chef kiss. He had a fancy Voyager and there's a bright red robot at the start. Well, you know, I mean, the as a films person, there's a lot about The Last Night that I think is really really academically fascinating that like kind of gets glossed over. Uh and part of it is that the movie has an entire opening that is functionally irrelevant to the rest of the movie, but not in the just like funny haha, you know, like joke bullet point way, but like on multiple levels, like the way that the film has nothing to do with itself many times over is um uncommon. This is all Evergreen Barricade's fault. Uh, anyway, I should say also, I like these two figures. They're fun. I really wanted to get a hold of these two so I could have like my perfect Bumblebee movie Decepticon crew because I like the Starscream toy. I don't like it enough to purchase like 3 other versions of it, but like these two, right? Soundwave, Starscream, Blitzwing, Jet Shatter, and I hate that I have to like really clarify this, but like, you know, then Jet Shatter, you know, uh car drop kick. Then you got like this perfect little crew. Concept Rumble, you know? Ravage. I think it's a really cool little team. Nothing against Thrust and Thundercracker and Skywarp. It's just like I don't like the toy enough to own 3 of it. Uh in addition to the one that I have. That Shockwave would look great in the Radio Shack colors. Yeah, I think so. This Shockwave has good shapes. And like, you know, I'm sure at some point, right? It's mushroom pegged on here. Uh it's one elbow joint, so someone at some point will probably design mushroom peg, second elbow joint, forearm. Now you have a bicep swivel. Everyone stop talking, you know. I'm sure that's at least, or at least someone will attempt it. If it's not doable, it's not doable. But yeah, this toy in Shockwave Galactic Man colors would be super, especially with like a super bright red jewel there on the optic. It'd be sick. Core Class Ravage, also known as the single named Decepticon in the Bumblebee movie. Correct, Max Tibby. Shatter and Dropkick, like part of the reason why everyone kind of they're the connoisseurs Decepticons is because you had to be staring at the credits and the merchandise line to even know what their names are. I saw, yeah, Techno. I saw the TFA color repaint that Grim Alchemist did of this. I thought it looked super sick. Oh my god, I'm on fire. This does, I believe, have light piping. I just don't have any dedicated lights to show it, but there is a little window in the top, and I'm pretty sure that's feeding stuff. Like this eye is still catching some light, at least on the outside. Uh, I don't have a way to test it though. I don't have like a flashlight here. Yeah, good old Violence husband and master wife. What do I think of the concept art of the Project Skyfire movie that was canceled? I don't know if I looked at that. The worst part is, right now, if I reach to do a Google search... Oh no. Maybe I will, though. Y'all like this view? The Megatron teams up with Nazis to make zombies movie? What? I searched Project Skyfire and I'm getting a whole lot of things. Operation Skyfire. Oh. Huh? What the hell? That's a lot of artwork. Look, yeah, if you want to see it, look up Operation Skyfire Megatron, and it'll open up. It'll really quickly find you a TFW thread. I'll look into that more later. By the way, this is my nice Eterna purple shirt that I really like that I got in Germany. I want more of these. Is Megatron that plane? Thank you, Labyrinth. This is the most professional stream. We even have what's that thing in the movie theater where the seat shakes? We even got that. If you have one of those at home, your seat is shaking right now. $4D. Yeah, it's a D4 function going on right now. This stream is 4D enabled. This is making a noise when I do this. Doesn't look like it. Megatron's hand articulates to accommodate the man boob. Ah! The one person who actually is 4D enabled is getting hurled across their computer room right now. Now I have whiplash. I mean, I forgot about it until you brought it up, so I'm, you know, it's technically not my fault. Do you like what you see? The fourth D is for the vomit. Truth. Can you knock Shockwave over for fun? No. He's too stable. He keeps standing up when I do it. Hang on, I'm gonna wind up here. Was it worth it? Coming onto one of these streams, being all like a weirdo on the dark web, going like, I want my snuff. Knock that robot over. Was it worth it? Take it easy, Orange Man. He's back up. Anyway, this stream appears to have been successful. Hooray. I might do one more while I'm out here to show you all what I got at the toy show. It's just like 3 figures, but one of the things I got was Legacy Skyquake, and he was in a Ziploc bag in perfect I give up on and to hell with this goddamn backpack formation. So I got him loose, and so I went straight to that one video on YouTube, spent about 20 minutes figuring out what the video was trying to tell me, and figured it out. So he works, and I like the toy a lot. So if I don't do it here, I'll do it later when I'm back home. But like yeah, that toy works, and I know how to make it work, so I can show you. I never saw the instruction sheet, but from what I understand, the instructions were a catastrophe. So I'm really happy that like I'm very happy that I experienced Skyquake now and not a year ago. I got Skyquake, the green one, the OG. Yeah, I got the Skyquake from Cherry Bomb at the end of the show. I wanted to get something off of B at the end of the show, basically. Now I want Dreadwing. Yeah, the Shadow Zone one. The one who technically brings less to the table. Yeah, Labyrinth, these were like another level unclear. This was like, if I recall correctly, it's like there's one point where they say move the toy like this, and then like the CAD model clips a piece through another piece. So they go like, just turn no clip on this one part of the toy and then move it through another part of the toy, and it's like, you can't. It's my understanding. I never saw the instructions, so I don't know for sure, but if Dreadwing has better tolerances than Skyquake, I'm hyped, because like once I figured this nonsense out, I'm like, I kind of like Skyquake. So a better tolerance Skyquake in colors I prefer would be hype. I like the Gatling gun. Like, it's kind of cool how he can actually hold the thing, you know, properly. But yeah, I think we'll call it there. I wonder if these things are loaded or not. Hang on, let me check. I think we'll call it. Doesn't work. It's empty. I think we'll call it there. But thanks for tuning into the stream. Oh no, I had this Comic-Con shirt from the actual Comic-Con. So this is my OG Capital City Comic-Con shirt. But yeah, I'll talk to you all later. I'm yeah, hopefully I can do another stream while I'm out here, because it would be fun to show some more stuff in this setup with this weird room. But yeah, what else can I throw out there before I go? Y'all ever seen Masterpiece 01 Optimus 20th anniversary? This is MP01. I never got the Hasbro one. Here's MP01 Optimus Prime, a game changer. This is the future of Transformers toys. They're gonna weigh like 5 pounds, and I forgot how you. Yeah. Future of Transformers toys. Anyway, so exclusive first look review of MP01 Optimus Prime. No one else has this toy except me. So get ready for a real hype. Here's a preview. Shock suspension. It's a lost art. But yeah, I'll catch y'all later. Thanks for tuning in. And I don't have a smooth way to end the stream, actually, so I might just turn it off while all this is showing. Just sneak in over here and, like, you're never gonna see it coming, right? If you're just like, these streams are janky? Yeah. Always been that way. Bang.